little hammers, huh? I didn't feel like I was lazy. I didn't put no ice, so I put them in the front well. Look at that. Big trout. All caught in 20 mile an hour, 25 mile an hour wind. I threw back the 12s and 13s. I just kept a nice fish. I probably got 15. That's about my limit. Oh man. They're all solid fish though. Show y'all what I caught them on. Say hi, Joe. Got them on these little bitty pogies. That's all I could find. About put them on my hand. This is the biggest one I got in there. Most of them were caught on this size right here. And I hook them right there. Right there. If you stick it in that bloodline, the pogie's gonna die. It's not gonna be any good. You gotta go just below that bloodline and kind of right above the anus, more the tail. And when you throw it, what I was saying is when you throw it, you have to be downwind or use a cork through the mouth. Oh, I mean, you could use a cork through the bottom too, but they tear very easily because they're very tender and small. So you can't just whip that out a long ways. You got to be pretty close to the spot you're going to fish if you're going to use those small pogies. But they can't resist them. Them little, I call them silver dollars. Those silver dollars, if their fish are there, they're going to eat them, even if they're not biting. You can even chum with them. If you have a bunch like I did today, I had about 150 in there. I knew I wasn't going to use that. I was taking the smaller ones and throw them out in the area that I wanted to fish, in the greener, clearer water where I found it. And you got to find clear water, of course. I went all the way down towards the east, like Sand Dollar in that direction. And I tried a couple of spots. It was chocolate mud with the east wind. So I turned around and came back and fished by my place and by the game warden station and the island right behind the game warden station. Is called Dutch Island. On a high tide, it holds a lot of trout. And we had extremely high tide with this south wind blowing at 25 miles an hour. So you got to stay pretty close to the island. You got to find some. You don't have to be green, but you got to have some. You got to be able to see about maybe a foot deep, 6 inches or a foot deep. It can't be that chocolate silty water because you're just wasting your time in that. So the tip is to find the clear water and croakers, shrimp, or pogies. I probably would have caught the same on any one of those three, but when I found that green water, man, they love that little pogie. And they end up in the Bayou Rigo. You look for the pelicans diving, and you throw a cast net. You don't have to see them flipping even, and you got to throw a few times in the deeper waters, about 10 feet of water, let it hit the bottom, and that's where I caught them at. So that's my report, and maybe by the weekend, I think by Sunday, it's supposed to calm down, and next week's supposed to be good. So it's hard. You got to stick close to the island and find green water if you got 25 mile per hour southeast wind. The east wind is terrible. So that's my report. Keep on watching, and come to Grand Isle and enjoy the beach and all the things it has to offer. Hey, I just wanted to throw in a couple more tips, like washing the boat on this marine mat. No matter if you got sea deck, probably similar. This thing, I think it's tougher than the sea deck, the marine mat that I have. But when you're washing it, if you get it or you got it already, I got these new nozzles here that puts a real small, see if I can spin this thing around. And let me show you this. You see this here at the end of these hose, the nozzle and the hose. One of these, you can buy these things for like $30 on Amazon. But the cool thing about this is you just turn this valve. I'm trying to do this by myself. My wife's on the way. Turn this valve and shut it off. And so I can take the nozzle off and I can go rinse my motor out and not have to get up. Hey, it makes a big difference when you get older, you know, not having to get up out the boat and go turn the water on or off. So these little valves are awesome, okay? And a regular hose is a nuisance to me. And I know you're gonna say it don't last long, this hose. They don't last me, as much as I use it, probably 3 to 6 months, but hey, I'd rather the convenience and the ease of putting it in my boat and around my boat than a rubber hose that gets all stiff and kinked up and jammed up. So that's my tip, is these new flex hoses. You can buy them on Amazon. Get the highest rated one. I've been trying all of them. Some are a little bit better than the others. They come with this nozzle, and if you put it on this straight stream like this, if you put it on that straight stream like that, boy, does it take the blood off without you having to scrub it even. It's got a lot of pressure in a small area. So that's my tip of the day to add to my channel.